Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to class. So today we are going to work with the tennis ball again, but we're going to work with the upper body. So if you happen to have a tennis ball, lacrosse ball, something like that, please go ahead and grab it. We're going to start laying down, and I want you to take your blanket and roll it. Really, it's just take the short edge of your blanket and just roll it into thirds, just into a third. So it kind of looks like that. And then place it on your mat. We're going to lay over this. Now, for some of you, this is going to be too high and your neck and head is going to drop too low. If that's the case, either grab a little blanket or a little pillow and put it where your head's going to land. It's okay to have a little bit of a lift of the chin, but you don't want it to be cranking back. The other option is to just grab one of your blocks and put your cute little head on that. Okay, because where we're focusing is this stretch of the chest and shoulders. So I want your head relatively neutral. All right, so with that, and I'll hold on to this just in case, you're going to lay down so that the blanket is underneath your ribs and your head is off the blanket, okay? Now, if that feels yucky, again, either for your head or your sacrum, shift it. In fact, you could put the sacrum on it's a little short for that. So keep your hips on the floor, watch your low backs. You could put something under your hips to increase or decrease that angle. And then decide if you need something under the head to make that more supportive. All that for that. So pause here, make sure your tailbone is long. Make sure the lower back is not being unduly impacted. In fact, I'm going to take my little pillow and put it under my sacrum. Oh, that feels better. That was a little too much for early morning. And then the base of your skull is just off the blanket. So your neck is supported by the blanket. The head is off the blanket. And you're just chilling for a moment. I have my feet on the floor so that my low back is more supported. You can have the legs straight if it feels good to you. And start to tap into the breath just a little bit here. Starting to feel the inhale, the deepening of the breath. And the exhale. Good, breathing in. And out. Good, one more here. And then take the right arm only and bring it to a cactus. So bend that elbow, 90-degree arm right off the shoulder. So shoulder to elbow, and then elbow to hands, and just pause. And I want you to feel any stretch at all that's happening in the right front shoulder or the right chest. And keep that deeper breathing going. Don't over breathe, but just nice deep breath in, nice deep breath out. Again, lengthening the back of the neck. The neck should be supported. The head should not feel like it's hanging in any way. And maybe straighten the arm out to the side if you have room. If you don't worry about it. And then take that very same arm and diagonal it up toward the corner of your mat or the corner of your room. And just let the hand rest on the floor. Let the stretch happen. It's going to be very subtle today. Take a deep breath. Try not to force the stretch. Try not to overdo it. Just let gravity take that arm. And just tap in, right? How does it feel on this side? And then let the elbow bend, let that arm come down to your side. You can turn palm up or palm down. Go to the other side, take it to a right angle, cactus arm just on this side. And this may be very subtle for you. You might have a nice open chest, right? So you might not feel a deep stretch here, and that's okay too. Just allow it to be. So I often like to compare side to side to see where I'm carrying extra tension or where there is an imbalance. And sometimes we can address that, sometimes we can't, but just hanging out here and checking it out. And then straighten the arm if you have the room, straighten it right out to the side, T position. Just let the elbow be heavy. Nice deep breath. Check the neck, see if you've started to really overlift the chin. And then take that same arm out at a diagonal, back of the hand resting on the floor. This side definitely has more tightness for me. My elbow is not as close to the floor as the other side, which is interesting, right? And breathe. Let it be heavy. And then bend the elbow, let that arm come back down to the side. Pause here, let the shoulders be heavy on either side of your blanket. And then take both arms to cactus. And just see if you feel any subtle difference, one side to the other. And if you keep your arms on the floor, whatever's touching right now, and just slide them up a little bit. Don't go too far, but just slide them up a little bit. See where they go. And be the observer here. Again, my left arm talking to me, my right arm's happy as it can be. So I find it very interesting that there is a significant difference one side to the other, or a noticeable difference. Good, let the left arm slide back down. Keep the right arm where it is, and let the knees roll over to the left, any amount. They don't have to come to the floor. So the knees are going one direction, the arm is cactus on the other side. And then roll the knees to the middle. Take the left arm to cactus. Let the right arm come down. Let the knees go to the right. Good, last one here. Take the knees to center. If it is okay for you, take the soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana, tailbone long. Hands go behind the head as if you're lounging in a chair, getting some sun. Arms, elbows out to the side, knees out to the side. Your hands are resting on the floor. Take a deep breath. Good. Bring the knees together. Release those arms. Start to slide down your blanket until your head is on the blanket and just your shoulder blades up are on the blanket. So your whole mid and lower back are to the floor. And just pause here again for a second. Bring your right knee to your chest. Release that foot to the floor. Bring your left knee to your chest. Release that, both hands behind your head. Lift your head off the floor, head and shoulders off the floor. Now I'm not tucking my chin, I'm keeping it pretty neutral. Squeeze in through the belly, same side, elbow to knee. So squeeze it in and press it out. Good, squeeze. You can do a little crunch in the middle. Squeeze. 4, good, one more here. 5, switch sides, bring the other knee to elbow, scrunch it in. And 2, little core work, you know I always sneak this stuff in. And 4, and 5, and feet to the floor, bend both knees, squeeze your belly, both knees to both elbows, and then shoot the legs up. Good, squeeze it in, shoot them up. So you're not taking them straight out, that'd be tricky on the back. Good, breathe, squeeze, feel that belly work. Good, 2 more, squeeze it in, press it out, 1 more, squeeze, and press, feet to the floor, head to your blanket, and just turn your head side to side. Good. Take the knees to your chest, roll them over to one side. Come on up. Don't go too far away, but you can move that blanket out of the way. You're going to need that tennis ball in just a second. Woo. And already feel those shoulders, right? Feel the shoulder work. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, one hand down, take the other one over. Take that top hand behind your head. Now, careful here, push into the hand so you're not quite so low, and then drop the elbow toward the knee. Don't overreach here, and take it up and look up toward the ceiling. Good, and down, and reach up. Good, exhale. Lift it up. 2 more, down you go. And inhale, lift, squeeze, last one down. And inhale up, extend that arm, stretch out that side body, push up. Exhale, other side, press it down. First, find the side bend, right? The side stretch, that hip goes down, hand comes behind your head. Don't over lower. So tap and squeeze it back. Good, and tap. And look up. Good, tap it down. And lift. Woo, yeah, good. 2 more, down. Open that chest, everybody. And last one, open up, extend it out. And push off, lift up. Exhale to your heart. Roll those shoulders, shake that out. Good, inhale, take the arms out. A little arm work, so let's do internal, external rotation. Now, if you feel this in your neck, lower the hands. Okay, it's really that simple. You're still getting the work, but you're not engaging the trapezius quite as much, so it's going to lighten up that neck. Good, keep that head soft, keep the head moving, keep breathing. Turn the palms up, hold, soften the shoulders, squeeze your belly, and pulse up. Just easy, easy pulses. Watch that tension in the neck. Again, you can lower, okay? Keep the chest lifted. Breathe. Betty's doing a little core work on top. I can see her. Turn the palms forward and pulse. And breathe. Turn the palms down, pulse. Woo! Who knew the arms could get this heavy, right? Breathe. Good. Turn the palms back. Roll the shoulders, squeeze behind you, and pulse back. And breathe. Good, release, turn the palms up. I know those hands are getting heavy or those arms are getting heavy. I want you to curl your fingers, curl the wrists in, just hold. Good, engage the back muscles, soften the shoulders. Good, curl into Popeye arms. Take your knuckles to your shoulders if you can. Good, and then uncurl it. Ooh. Yeah, open up those hands, turn the palms down. How heavy are those arms? Let it go. Ooh. Who needs weights, right? Good, shake that out. Grab your tennis ball. We're gonna do a little bit of floor work still. So hang in there with me, and then we'll get up and we'll stretch everything out. So again, maybe you want the blanket, just a little bit of blanket, 1 or 2 layers underneath your head. We're gonna take this lovely tennis ball. I like to keep my knees bent, my feet on the floor. Just your head is on that blanket. Take the tennis ball in your left hand and then reach it behind your right shoulder until you can find some muscle, right? So here we are, trapezius, levator scapula, more trapezius than anything. That tennis ball is right underneath that meaty part of your shoulder, and chances are good you have already found a tender spot, right? So I just want you to breathe here. If it is not too much, take the arm out in some fashion out to the side. So what I mean by that is it doesn't have to be straight out. It certainly doesn't need to be cactus. I have mine just softly diagonal down off the shoulder. And breathe and notice. Now you have control anytime we work with these objects, right? You have control. If it is too much, you just take that arm and move it away from the weight a little bit, or move that shoulder away from the weight. And notice, right? So when we have neck pain, often, not always, it comes from all these awfully tight muscles in the upper shoulders. Now, you've been here for a while. I want you to roll a little bit to another spot. It might be up, it might be in, it might be down. It depends on where you started. Find that. It should feel juicy, right? It should feel like, oh, I didn't know that was that tender. Good. Pause here. Now listen up. One, you're here, you're just doing a little bit of, pressure point work, or you're going to take that right arm and you're going to slowly bring it across your chest and then back out to the side. Yep. Bring it across. Ooh. Oh, yeah. And out. Good. Bring it across. If you feel a little bit of kind of referral pain up to the side of the face or up to the eye, again, often that is normal. If it is too much, please stop. Take that little tennis ball out and just do the arm movement. Good. One more little sweep of the arm and breathe. Whew. And let that arm come back down, out sort of to the side, and just see if you can find one more spot. We could truly do a whole class just playing with the tennis ball, but then you'll all be cursing me when you're sore tomorrow. So find one more spot. Now, I didn't say this, I said it last class, that tennis ball should never be on bone. So it should not be on your spine. It shouldn't be any place where it's really hard and bony. You want to work with the muscles here. I'm right alongside my spine right now, but I'm not on it. Ooh, yeah, I just found a really tender spot. Maybe you find your tender spot and you just move the neck a little bit, right? You turn your head side to side. Good. Take it the head to center. If it's still moving, I want you to reach with the left hand. Take the ball out. Oh. Good. We got one more on this side, so we're not going side to side. Take the ball is still in your left hand. This time you're going to bring your right arm across. The ball's going under your armpit to the scapula. Now I told you not to have it on bone, but there are muscles here, right? There's teres major, teres minor, infraspinatus, all these yummy muscles. And there's usually a spot or two where you're going to feel a little bit of tenderness here. And sometimes it's right above, like right up from the armpit, sometimes it's in the middle. So again, find the spot and then just start to move the arm a little bit. Out and in. Yep. Couple sweeps. And then let the hand go out to the side and roll the tennis ball just down the upper arm and then back underneath. So you're just kind of going side to side. If it comes out from under your arm, don't worry. Ooh, ooh. Anybody feeling that? Yeah. So we're getting into a little bit of the deltoid muscle, back of the shoulder, back of the arm, upper arm. And release that. Just take that ball out. And just pause, right? It's like, whoo, like the whole right side woke up compared to the left. I'm just going to turn myself around so I'm not up against the wall. Good. Here we go. Same thing, other side. That got the ball in the right hand. You're going over the top of the shoulder. You're going to find a spot. I would like to meet someone who does not have a spot. Whew. Good. Breathe. Just find it. Notice. And again, you can play, maybe you turn the head away from that left side, so turning the head to the right. This is individual for everybody. Maybe you do little tiny circle right there, right? Where you're just rolling around on the ball. I do find though that sometimes if you can just sit and be patient on one spot, it'll start to dissipate. Maybe the arm goes out. Find your breath. Good. Maybe you find your second spot. Oh. And then just let the body drop down if you can, right? So I found myself kind of bracing a little bit, lifting up. And instead, I'm just going to sink. Maybe you hang on to that spot and start to move the arm across. Definitely the tighter side for me. It's just we're working with the muscle here. We're working with trigger points, right? When these muscles get too tight for too long, it can get just really not toxic, but it can get pretty yucky in there. So we're just doing a little myofascial work. Ooh, good. Maybe you release the arm. Maybe you find one more spot. Again, this is like a little primer. You could grab your tennis ball and spend 5-10 minutes on one side or one part of the body every day and slowly start to work some of the tension out of these muscles. So right now I'm like right at the very upper back part of this side. If I went any higher, the ball would just kind of pop out the top and you can feel. Ugh. And maybe you do that arm sweep again. Ooh, lordy, lordy. There it is. Yep, if you can still smile through this, you're doing okay. If you cannot smile, you're probably putting a little bit too much effort into it. Breathe. Maybe you turn the head side to side. Oof. And then bring that head to center. Ooh, soften the body into the ball. Reach with your right hand, take it out. Oh, just pause. Good, let's do the second part. Take it under the armpit I move my left arm over to the side so I can get underneath that shoulder blade. And then I'm just going on a little search mission here to see if I can find those trigger points. I was a massage therapist for 10 years and I could find most trigger points, right? They're documented. And one of them is right in the center of that shoulder blade on a muscle called the infraspinatus. So find that, play with your arm. Maybe you take it down toward the hip. Maybe you take it out to the side just a little. You'll know, you'll move the arm. You go, oh no, that feels yucky. Don't go there, right? You'll find it. And breathe. Try to soften the body. And then again, maybe roll to that outer shoulder and back toward the center of the shoulder blade and out. And just play, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be where I have mine. You'll know, just kind of play here. Oh, right. I feel that upper arm quite a bit. And release. I realize I just could really do a whole class here. All right, so take that ball out. Just pause, let both arms go down. Now this one, I want you to just be cautious. You're gonna take the ball in your left hand and you're gonna take it to right where your skull meets your neck, like right up at the top, but then just turn your head to the side. I'll have to take my blanket out of the way. So I like to keep the ball in my hand, in the palm of my hand so I can control it. And I'm just gonna let the ball roll over that it's kind of to the side, but not really. The back of your neck, it's right up at the skull. Again, there's usually some tender spots here. If the ball is no way, no how, not using a ball there, just release the ball and use your fingers instead. You can dig a couple fingers in there. You can take the right hand to the left side and do something very similar. So just be gentle. You don't need your hand. You might be able to just rest the ball on the floor and find your tender spot. Maybe tuck the chin a little bit. Don't over push here, okay? There's generally speaking nothing that you can hurt here. You're not on the vertebra and you're nowhere near some of the major vessels, but again, caution. If you feel lightheaded doing this, you take the ball out. Whew. As I kind of tuck my chin, I feel a really good stretch there. All right, release that side. Just take the head to the center, feel the difference one side to the other, and then decide on your other side. Again, I love using the fingers here. I would take the opposite side fingers and just work in those muscles a little bit. But otherwise, we're just going to find the tender spot. We're going to pause here. Maybe we tuck the chin a little. And release. Take that head to center. Let the ball go off to the side. Both hands behind your neck. Interlace those hands. Bring the elbows up to the ceiling and then just tuck your chin so that you can look down toward your knees or toward your belly button. Let the head be heavy. We're stretching out what we just did. And release. Bring your knees to your chest, everybody. Roll the knees over to one side and come on up. Woohoo! Good. Right. And just take those hands and roll that whole area that we just played with. It's interesting work. Again, it's that fine line of working with the tennis ball or any other kind of ball and not overdoing it so that you're real sore the next day. All right, so with that, let's come to table pose. Your blocks are near the front of your mat. Spread the fingers, use your blanket under the knees if that makes sense for you. And then find this nice, broad, wide shoulder base, right? So I'm actually pressing the hands away from me to make the shoulders wider. And then I'm going to drop and tuck my chin. And then I'm just going to lift my chin. And tuck. Inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck. So again, kind of interesting. When you lift your chin, do you feel a stretch in your neck? And tuck. Good, one more. Lift, and tuck. And then find neutral. Take your right hand to the center, roughly the center of your mat. Take the left arm up and stretch it out, everybody. You can take your knees wide, by the way. There you go, Lenny. And just because sometimes it'll make those hips a little bit easier, we're stretching it out. Betty, yeah, try that as well. And then you're going to pretend to do eye of the needle, but you're not going to drop down. So you're going to sweep that arm under, reach for whatever to the side of you, and take it back up. And exhale. Good. One more stretch. Exhale it down, and then take the arm up. Internally rotate that hand and just take it to your back or to your opposite hip. Roll that shoulder open. Watch the chin. So don't lift the chin. Keep it neutral. And breathe. Good. Take the arm up. Exhale that hand down. Walk both hands forward and find puppy stretch. Just drop the forehead, leave the elbows lifted, and then lengthen your tailbone to stretch your back. Walk those hands back. Left hand comes toward the center, the knees are wide, your feet can come toward the middle. When you're ready, take the right arm up. And just stretch. Feel the weight of the hand, push the body away from those hands. And exhale. Just dropping that arm under and taking it back up. And drop under. And reach. And last one. And take it up. And then internal rotation, reach for the opposite hip. Keep the chin level. You should not feel any strain in that head. Breathe. Release the arm up. Exhale the hand down. Walk the hands out. Puppy stretch again. Press the hips back. Keep the arms active. Tone the belly in. Good. And come on back, everybody. Spread the fingers. Bring the knees back to neutral. Find downward facing dog. Once you're in down dog, let's pedal those feet. Shake out that head. Shake out that neck. Ooh. Good. Bend one knee, leave the other leg straight. Just stretch out the back of the leg. And switch. Ooh, yeah. And then come all the way up to tippy toes. Exhale, lower your knees to the floor. Take your knees wide. And if you can, child's pose. Once you come to child's pose, I want you to bend the elbows and let your hands rest on your or let your forehead rest on your hands. Find your breath. Good. Stay here if you can. Just turn your head to one direction as if you were sleeping on your belly. Just turning the head one way. Deep breath. By the way, if child's pose is just not accessible, you can do this on your belly. Good. The head center. And then turn it to the other side. And center. Release those hands. Push yourself back up. Walk those hands back to the front of your mat. Open up the shoulders, everybody. Shake out that head. Flip your toes under. Downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Find your breath. Take your feet wide on your yoga mat. Breathe. Press through those arms. Really stretch back. And then walk your hands all the way back. If you're comfortable in a forward fold, your hands rest on the floor, right? Fingertips to the floor. Excuse me. And just let your head hang. So much tension there, we can release. Bend the knees, look up, hands come to your knees, and come on up all the way. Ooh, good. Roll it out. And just kind of get a sense. How's all this starting to feel, right? As we start to move through the head, the neck, the shoulders. So let's find mountain pose. Energize the legs, keep the knees soft. Good, I'm just gonna step forward a little bit and circle one arm. So big circle. For your range of motion, see where you can bring it. And switch directions. Good, one more big circle. Take it out to the side, reach it back, and then take it all the way across, grab that arm and shake out. Woo, Lordy, shake out that head, that neck, that shoulder. I've been doing the monkey bars across the street, and I really feel that in the shoulders. Woo. Good, release that side. Other side, let's do 3 or 4 circles, one direction. Just notice, right? Don't force it. If it hurts, go wide, switch directions. There is always a way, right? There's always a way. You never want to keep injuring or keep harming the body. Good, take it out, reach it back as far as it'll go, and take it across. Ooh. Good, stretch. Keep the shoulders soft. There you go. And release that, shake that out. Bring the shoulders up to your squeeze. And let that go. All right, I think we're good. Grab your blocks if they're not near you, put them at the front of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down to the floor or to your blocks. Bend the knees, step back right leg. Let's come into a lunge. Start with the knee down if that is okay for you. So take the right knee down, undo the toes, find your alignment, and then take your hands to your knee. So we're in just a typical lunge. We know all the cueing here, right? Squeeze your butt, don't overdrop into the front hip, take the right arm up. Somebody said, so much cueing. Like, yes, I know. Good, take that same right hand to your back of your head and imagine pulling your head up. And then maybe just look up a little bit. The back of the neck stays long. Elbow out to the side. Breathe. Good, reach that arm up. Exhale, hand down. Hands to both blocks, lift the knee. That will be optional, okay? You can keep the knee down. Squeeze between the thighs as if you were holding a block there. Take your hands to your knee. Lift your chest. Inhale, reach both arms. Imagine you're holding on to the beach ball. And breathe. As you exhale, the elbows come down to your sides, the hands reach back, interlace and press back. Now, I didn't say press down, press back. Ooh. Feel the stretch. Keep the chin somewhat level. If you want more lift, lift the chest. Ah, breathe. Release the hands, inhale them up. Exhale down to your blocks. Walk your blocks forward and push off the back leg, step forward. Drop the head. Good, lengthen through your tailbone. Bend your knees, start to look up, and then inhale all the way up. Exhale to your heart. Roll the shoulders, feel the chest lift. A little bit of engagement with the shoulders. Release those hands. Inhale, take it up. Exhale all the way down. Let the head hang. I keep saying that because most of us will keep a little bend in that head, right? It's like you want to look up a little bit. So really let the top of the head drop toward the floor. You have your hands on your blocks, bend the knees, step back left leg. Make sure you're stepping back wide enough. And then lower that knee to the floor, release your toes, find that stretch. When you're ready, hands to knee. Inhale, just the left arm. Feel that stretch. Tone through the belly. Hand comes behind the head. You're actually lifting the head. And then maybe looking up. Your head should feel 100% supported. Your neck is not at all stressed. And breathe. Maybe that chest lifts. Tuck the chin a little bit. Lift that arm. Exhale, hands come down. 1, you stay down low. 2, you're going to lift the knee. Engage between the thighs, that line through the middle. Hands come to your knee. Lift your chest. Inhale the arms up. Find your breath. Notice. Take the elbows to your sides. Squeeze them back. Interlace. Find your other interlace if you can. So instead of pulling down, I want you to pull back. Lift your chest. That's it. You got it, everybody. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, hands down. Walk your blocks forward. Push off. Step forward. Let that head hang. Bend your knees. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Good. Shake that out. Grab your strap. So it doesn't need to be long. You can fold it in half. You could probably even fold it into a quarter, fold it in half, and then half again. We're just taking it behind us. Your palms are face out. Your shoulders roll back. Good. And then press the shoulders. It's like you're trying to squeeze a quarter between your shoulder blades, right? Trying to squeeze something between the shoulder blades. Don't overdo it. And then reach the arms back, lift the chest, keep the head neutral, and pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the press back. See if you can get the head back in space. Good. Don't lift the chin, Adriana. Yeah. Breathe. Notice and pulse 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Whew. And just shake that out. Grab the strap in front of you, still narrow. Soften the knees, engage the legs, take the arms up. And breathe. And then gently try to pull the strap apart. Don't overdo this one. Keep the head, neck soft and neutral. The elbows are not locked. And then just start to reach over to one side. Push. The side that you're reaching over to, that opposite arm, push. And center. Start to go to the other side and then make that arm long. Woo. And center, take it in front of you, roll your shoulders back, have a seat. And breathe. Don't over tighten on the strap, keep those fingers soft. Breathe. Drop the strap down like you're gonna wrap your ankles. And then look up, stand all the way up. Good, exhale down. Inhale. Reach, exhale. Good, inhale up. Exhale it down. We got one more, inhale. Exhale, listen up. You're gonna look up, turn the palms in, chair pose. Good, breathe, breathe. Watch the knees, keep them separate. And then stand up. Exhale, let go. Roll that out, everybody. Drop your strap. Blocks to the front of your mat. How we doing, everybody? Woo, woo. Excited, I could tell. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to blocks. Step back, right leg. Find your lunge, everybody. Drop your back foot just a little bit. If you can, drop that heel. Inhale, reach up. And breathe. Front knee bends. Exhale, you're going to sink your chest down to your thighs. Whoop, and reach the arms back. Drop your chin, drop your head. Good. Push into your feet, everybody, to lift those arms. Exhale, hands to blocks. Straighten your back foot, move your blocks out of the way, plant your hands, and find down dog. Reach out of the shoulders and yet still keep them really engaged. Plank pose. Breathe. Knees down. Child's pose. Stretch. Round your back as you come up. Release into a nice little cow pose. Just pause. Find neutral. Down dog. Find your breath. Look through your hand, step forward, right leg. Grab your blocks. They usually help here. Just drop that back foot a little bit. I have to shorten my pose a little bit to make this work. Squeeze your belly, take the arms up. Front knee is bent. Easy, easy. Exhale, drop the chest, bring those arms back, and you're just hanging out over that leg, humble warrior. Breathe. Good. Push into your feet. Lift those arms up. Exhale, hands to blocks. Straighten your back foot. Move your blocks out of the way. Step back, down dog. Breathe. Plank pose. Shake it out. Lower your knees. Child's pose. Or hero pose, or seated pose, whatever feels good. Just notice your breath. It is amazing, right? It's like, wow. How do you both stretch it, strengthen it, release it? There's so much. I carry a lot of tension in my arms and shoulders, so I know. Just breathe. Shake it out. All right, so release all that. Have your blanket kind of toward the front of your mat, whichever way you decide front is. And grab your tennis ball and bring it where you can reach it. Okay. So just kind of to the side and then come on down to your belly. And maybe come to Sphinx pose. Palms are face down. If you need a blanket underneath your sacrum and underneath that pubic bone, or even your little pillow if you have it, just to ease up that low back, please do it. And rock a little side to side. And breathe. And then take both elbows to the right. Now, if this is hard on the lower back, you walk those hands out all the way to flat belly, right? It's perfectly fine. Don't strain your low back for this. Now, if I've walked my elbows to the right, I'm going to press the left hip down. Yep. And breathe. And then I'm going to look over the right shoulder. Ooh. And tell me if you don't feel your psoas there, Adriana. No? You're fine. Ah, there it is. Breathe. Good. Walk it back to center. Pause. Walk the elbows to the left. One side usually tighter than the other. Push the right hip down. Take a nice deep breath. So we can get into psoas here. We can get into the abdominal muscles for sure. And breathe. And take the arms back to center. Good. Lower everything down. Oof. Shake out those hips. Maybe bend the knees. Windshield wiper. Good. And then you're going to grab your blanket, and the blanket really is just going to be for your forehead, right? So I just have mine folded twice so that I can keep my forehead on it and my nose off the floor. Grab your grab your tennis ball, and you're going to put it underneath let's see if that's going to work. This blanket's going to be too high. You're going to, now, if you happen to have a pacemaker, a port, or anything right here underneath this collarbone, you're not using that tennis ball, okay, Kabish? So you're going to take the tennis ball, you're going to put it underneath the collarbone. Yeah, don't use the blanket. It's just going to bring us up too high. Use your hands instead and turn your head. If I've got the tennis ball over my left, on my right side chest, looking over to the left, my right arm is out to the side. It's right under the collarbone. It's right under the collarbone, not the neck side, the chest side of the collarbone. Okay, just want to make sure we're in the right spot. Whew. Now, you're going to find a tender spot, chances are. So I'm laying on this tennis ball. If you need more height, you can always take your little pillow or your blanket under your chest. And I'm just to the outside of the sternum. So I'm at the corner where the sternum and the collarbone meet. Arm could be at cactus, hand could be under your head. And then I'm just gonna roll a little. I'm gonna lift off the left hip and roll back down. And I'm gonna lift off. So we're massaging a very small area. If this is killing your chest, breast, you know what I mean, then don't do it, okay? Or get that blanket under you. So I'm just rolling out and back in. I've got my knees bent and I'm rocking those legs side to side, which is helping me massage that area of the chest. Good, one more. And then come to center, take the ball out, and just pause. Other side, find the spots underneath the collarbone. You can do this with the wall, but it's hard because then your face is planted at the wall. So again, just find the spot that works for you. For me, it works best if so the ball's on the left side, my left arm is out at cactus. I'm finding that tender spot again. Don't let it go down into the breast tissue. It's right under the collarbone. So the SCM muscle, sternocleidomastoid, I can never say that right, so I say SCM, of the neck wraps under this collarbone. So when our necks are tight, oh, if you've ever had a massage therapist dig in under that collarbone, you know what I mean. So then bend your knees. Just let the legs rock a little bit. And you might come more to the inside, more to the outside. You're not really rolling on the tennis ball. You're just letting it move teeny bit side to side. Good, one more. And come to center. Whew. And lift up. And take the ball out. Come back to Sphinx pose, everybody. And drop the head. Keep the shoulders, chest lifted, but just drop the head. Maybe close the eyes. And lift the head as if you're going to lift that chin. And slowly drop the head. Good lift. And one more. Good, lower down. Grab your tennis ball. Roll over to one side. We are almost done with this. I'm sorry for all the tennis ball work. Unless you haven't used it once and then you're like, yeah, what do I care? So you're going to lay on your side. You're going to take this tennis ball kind of under. Now this is tricky because it hurts. Capiche? So you're going to try to control the weight. I'm just rolling it under. Let me sit up. It's the center upper deltoid. And if you hate this one, by the way, go back to under your shoulders or just throw the tennis ball away and say, nice try. Now, this is not super comfortable. You can, I like a little blanket or something under my head to give me some space. I'm going to take it to the shoulder. I'm going to kind of roll on it. Arm is out to the side. You're going to find that one tender spot. Okay. If it hurts, just keep moving the weight off of that. You can bend the knees or straighten. Ooh. Yep. Just breathe. And if you have a lacrosse ball or something, usually this work doesn't use a tennis ball because it's hard. Just take a deep breath. Try to relax that extended arm. And then press up. Woo. And shake that baby out. Yeah, so again, another trigger point right there at that base of the deltoid can get you every time. Good, do the other side. I know, tennis ball work, my dear friend Toby, is probably not exactly what you asked for. So roll onto that side. Take the arm out. Ooh, Lordy. That's a tender spot. Find a spot for your head. A block would work too, by the way. I just folded my blanket up a little higher, which made that much more tolerable. Good, breathe. Go easy. and push off, release. Yeah, that's not a spot we stay on for too long. Good, roll that out. Come up to a seat. We're almost done, I know. This is what happens. Take it on your hand, roll it around. Whoop. Put it on my mat. Good, get it into that base of the thumb. We know that spot, right? That meaty part of, or that not so meaty anymore part of our thumbs that gets so tender. Good, switch hands. I do love working with the tennis ball, but I know it's not your, certainly not your typical yoga class. And then get into the meat of that. Betty's like, no tennis ball, never. Ooh, good. Take the tennis ball under one hand, only if you can. I want you to just roll out and woo, and roll back. So I'm not on my mat, so it's gonna keep slipping and sliding. Let me turn. There we go. And roll. Good. Roll it out. And in. One more. Roll it out. And back in. Do the other side. Just roll down that forearm. And in. And in. One more. And in. Good. Keep the tennis ball nearby, but at the same time, just move it out of the way. All right. And pause here, whichever way you choose to sit. Maybe we come into a little Baddha Konasana, lifting back through the sit bones, sitting up on a blanket, if that makes sense. And feel the shoulders, like just let them be soft. And find your breath. And slowly turn the head to one side as if you were going to look over your shoulders. Maybe you take the eyes with you, right? So I'm looking over that shoulder and I'm seeing how far the eyes will go. And then close the eyes and take it back to center. As you turn to the other side, open the eyes, see where the vision will go, look behind you. And close the eyes and come back to center. Maybe choose a different way to sit. Close your eyes. Good. Open the eyes, everybody. I want you to look to the left upper corner. I'm not going to mirror here because I'll really get confused. Really look up, left corner, upper corner. And then close the eye. Look down the left corner, the left eye down and in the corner, as if you could see the side of your nose. And close the eyes. Open them, look to the upper right. Keep the chin level. And close your eyes. Whew. Open, look down to the corner, inner corner of your right eye. Both eyes move, by the way. And close the eyes. Open the eyes, keep the head neutral. Look all over to the right. Both eyes looking over to the right. Keep the head neutral. I'm gonna take my glasses off. I see Linda, I see Betty. And bring them center. Close your eyes, everybody. Open, look over to the left as far as you can. Keep the head neutral. We generally don't realize how much tension we keep in our eyes. And center, close your eyes. Whoo, yep. Adriana knows right where I'm going. Rub your hands. Rub, 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 rub. Make little cups over both eyes. Soft. Breathe. Release the tension in your neck, your head, your shoulders. Breathe. One more time. Rub, 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 rub. And over your eyes. Good. Release, shake it out, everybody. All right. So for Shavasana, how the time flies when you're having fun. You're going to open up your blanket. And then you're going to make a little burrito, nice and tight. You're going to lay that on your blanket. So the top end of your blanket, a tennis ball is going to be optional here. The top end of your blanket is going to fold under to make a pillow right there for your head, okay? So your head is on this, it is not off of it. This tennis ball is going to be optional, and it's going to be in one of two places. So I'll come on down. Your whole torso is on the blanket, right? Your head is resting. So the ball can be nowhere because you're done with that. Or you can lift up and rest your sacrum on it. That will either feel really good or really awful, okay? And you can even tuck it under part of your blanket. The other option for the tennis ball is at the center of your kind of neck and upper spine. So it's in that little kind of soft space. It's known as a still point. It doesn't work as well with the tennis ball as it does with other things. But as long as it's not digging into the vertebra, it sits right where the base of the skull kind of comes together into that little hollow spot. So if that makes sense. And because the blanket is nice and long, if you need a little extra underneath your tush to straighten the legs so that your lower back feels good, you can tuck the base of the blanket under as well. So just play with that. I want to give us a nice, reasonably long Shavasana today. It's been that kind of class. Find your breath. If you feel like the arms or shoulders still need a little bit of attention, you can wrap your arms around you and give yourself a little hug. One direction. And then the other. And then the arms float down to your sides, your legs nice and wide. We start to soften our entire body. Down to the mat. Make sure this Shavasana feels comfortable, and if it doesn't, just keep playing until you get that pillow just right or the legs just right. And feel the shoulders softly descend on either side of your blanket. And feel the back of the eyes soften as if they were small pools of liquid softening down. Relax your jaw. Soften down even more. For those of you ready, just bend the knees and let your feet come to the floor. Pause here. Be mindful that you're on a blanket. Draw your knees to your chest. Squeeze them in. Stretch out your back. And then very carefully roll off your blanket. Press yourself up. Find a seat. When you're ready, inhale, take the arms up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Bow to your own inner goodness, strength, balance, wisdom. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Adriana. Thanks, everybody, for coming to class.